All right, guys. So 3 All-Stars the Guardians got, which is a good amount considering they're just barely over 500.
Just crapped all over the division in the first hour.
Yeah, right. Parker Messick, Travis Bazzana, and now
Cade Smith.
Oh, Cade Smith, yeah, are the 3 Guardians All-Stars. The question Mike proposes to us, Jason, start with you. Which of the 3 do you think makes the most All-Star games in their career?
Bazzana. I'll just play the odds because closers can be volatile, and starting pitching, you never know with arm injuries where things go.
Yep.
And for Bazzana to make it as a rookie, really with not even a full half of the season, considering he was a late call-up, I was a little surprised he was chosen.
I was a little bit
I was
taken aback.
Yeah, I was
Well, who was
surprised.
snubbed in the American League?
Well, that's part of it. Is maybe what great second basemen are there.
Yeah.
Did Meidroth make it from the White Sox? He's having a decent year.
I don't think so.
Ernie Clement, former Cleveland player, is the starting second
That's
baseman.
unbelievable.
Well, he won the voting because
It doesn't matter how he got there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
unbelievable.
Infielders Bazzana, Nick Kurtz, McGonigal, Ben Rice, and Miguel Vargas.
That's the only
None of those
second
guys are
baseman.
second
Yeah,
baseman.
Yeah.
So listen, man. Like, hey, shout out to him.
Real quick, is Bazzana more deserving than Rocchio?
Probably not. I think Rocchio's had a better.
No, I'd put Bazzana.
I don't know. That's a good question.
There's more depth. Who are
It's
the
shortstop.
shortstops? Bobby Witt
And McGonigal.
And McGonigal, yeah.
But it doesn't seem like they picked by position.
Well, they did. There's 2 shortstops and 2 second basemen. You're not going to have 3 shortstops and only 1 second baseman.
How many games has Rocchio played at second base?
Like 10.
Not
Early on in the year before Arias got hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess Rocchio could have played second base. Yeah, that's fine. But the answer to this question is probably Bazzana. Now, the only thing I'll say for Cade Smith is at second base, you're only going to get 2, maybe 3 guys in.
Mm-hmm.
Where at relief pitcher, you're probably going to have 3, 4, some years even 5 closers. So his odds are better in terms of the numbers there. But because of the volatility of closers, you know, for a lot of the season, it didn't look like Cade Smith would be an all-star. And then he obviously pitched better. It's definitely not Parker Messick. I like Parker Messick, but I think he's a little over his skis this year. I think he's a good pitcher. I don't think he's as good as he's pitched. And there's been a number of good pitchers this year that have been injured or struggled. So I would say Bazzana 1, Cade Smith 2, Messick 3. Like, it wouldn't shock me if Messick never was an all-star again.
I mean, I feel like he's their best pitcher right now.
Listen, he's a bulldog, so he might end up being a better pitcher than his stuff. Like Gavin Williams and Bybee, I think, have better stuff than Messick. Certainly Gavin Williams does. But Parker Messick, I think, has a level of toughness that's an intangible that, you know, like, those numbers are just outstanding.
Yeah, like,
they really are. And maybe I'm underrating him a little bit.
I underrated him for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm finally like, he's
been great.
He's beating me down.
He's been great, but
I liked him from
sometimes we've seen a lot of times where a rookie pitcher's really good, then he
but he was
back.
up last year and he pitched great.
Yeah, listen, I'm not saying he's not going to be good. I'm just saying it's hard for a starting pitcher to be an all-star from
every
year.
Perennially.
It's hard.
You got to cook. Like, because there's going to be a pitcher that comes out of nowhere that is deserving.
Every year, just like him.
Yep.
And you're going to put him in the game.
It's hard. It's the hardest to make the all-star team with injuries. And
then with position players, there's name brand recognition.
Right.
So if Bazzana makes it this year after he only been called up a short period of time. If he make it this year and then come back and make it next year, then it's like, Bazzana's just it.
First,
he's in there.
Bazzana has the highest pedigree of the 3.
Yep, number 1 overall pick.
Bazzana's at a position that's one of the weakest positions, especially in the American League. Yep. Like, who's so good at second base? Ernie Clement is the starter. I mean, who else? I'm trying to think. Like, who's a good second baseman in the American League?
He kind of fits the description.
Brooks Lee, but he's third now. He was short in third. He didn't play second this year.
He fits the description because, like, think about it with Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez was underrated a lot. But then it got to the point where everybody in baseball was like, oh, he's underrated.
Yeah, right.
So then they
So
moved
now
him
he's
up.
not underrated
Now
anymore.
he's not underrated, but the perception is he's still underrated. You're like, no. Everyone knows he's good.
He's underrated maybe by casual fans. Any diehard baseball fan or baseball media knows how good Jose is.
And Bazzana fits. Like if you say, what's a Cleveland Guardian?
Right.
Travis Bazzana.
Yeah.
Like just the way like he runs and his look, and it's like once he gets, especially if he plays well in an All-Star game, you might as well chalk it up. Like he got name brand recognition.
5 second basemen have an OPS of 700 or higher. In the
That's
American
it?
League.
In the American League?
5 have 700 or
Who
higher.
you got?
Ernie Clement is number 1. Mydroth is 2. Jazz Chisholm, I forgot about him, is 3.
Shout out to Jazz Chisholm.
Cole Young with the Mariners is 4 at 702. And
Yeah.
Jose Altuve is exactly 700.
I mean, by the way, 702 is bad.
It's below
That's
average.
below average.
Yeah.
Jose Altuve's way past his prime.
Yeah.
I mean, that second base group is awful.
By the way, I looked this up for the entire major leagues. This is how the OPS standings go for just second baseman.
Bryce Terang,
He's second. Luis Ariz is first. Terang second.
Luis
Brandon Lau-
Ariz is
How is
first
that
in
possible?
OPS?
How's that possible?
Yeah, he's at 823 OPS. He's slugging 461 this year.
What?
Luis Ariz, yes.
All
All
right.
right, you're even stunned.
Yeah, I'm really.
He's
never
got an
hits for any-
823 OPS. Terang's at 820. Brandon Lau is at 815. Xavier Edwards, 814. Ketel Marte, 804. JJ Weatherholt, 870. Ozzy Albies, 867. And then Ernie Clement, which shows you how.
Wow.
Yeah, most of those guys, most of the good second basemen are in the National League.
Everyone he mentioned was until
All the
he
good
got to
second
Clement.
basemen.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question.
I mean, Bryce Terang, who nobody, I'm sure most people here have never heard of, certainly nobody, most of our audience never heard of, is better than any second baseman in the American League, except for maybe Bazzana eventually.
What is the other major league comparison for a second baseman? Would a second baseman be something like an outdated position like combo guard? Or in football,
No,
a safety?
it's like a strong safety.
It's
It's like Grant Delpit.
I don't think second baseman is inherently any less important than other positions. I just think it's
if to me you just named a list of players that are the stats is Minimowski, and
in the American League, yeah.
And you really wouldn't if somebody said, "Hey, we got a top-notch pitcher, 5'2" center fielder, or a power hitter. Which one are you gonna take?" And you're gonna be like, "Well, we got a second baseman." Nobody would take the second baseman. They would say, "I don't know if we."
Yeah, I mean,
for
the
what?
position's is a little weaker.
There's a
especially
reason why Bazzana was the first second baseman ever drafted.
Yeah, right.
One.
It's generally
1-1.
been known as a light hitting position. Nowadays, I think it's more coincidence. And the National League, because there's other good National League second basemen who are just not having great years. There's a lot of good second basemen in the National League. They just aren't in the American League for whatever reason. Jazz Chisholm's not having a particularly good year. Ernie Clement's fine. Cole Young's not. I don't think he's very good. Mydroth is fine. But Travis Bazzana, like, he could end up being a 10-time All-Star if he's as good as we think he's going to be.
Man, listen.
I think we're just scratching the surface on him. He's got power. He's got speed. He's not particularly good defensively, but
I don't know what got into the Guardians. Like I said, I'm not gonna knock them because I was mad at them for not playing their young guys. They playing young guys, and you got 2 young guys that are pretty much rookies that made the All-Star team. So I can't be salty at it. Congratulations. I need some more.
There was a time when the Indians very much made it a offensive-minded position. They didn't care how bad you were defensively.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Baerga, Sean Dunston, they played at second base.
Sean Dunston played second? I didn't even remember that.
I think I'm almost positive.
By the way, Sean Dunston was a great defensive shortstop in his prime.
Yeah.
Not just good.
I'm almost positive he played second base for the Indians in the late 90s. They just would throw anybody out there if you could hit.
Do you know Sean Dunston hit 792 his senior year at Jefferson High School in Brooklyn? Bet you didn't know
That's
that.
great. I remember he had an arm. He could throw it through 3 walls.
Yeah.
His arm was so strong.
Yeah, yes.
Now I got to look that up.
Who's the kid that used to play for the Indians but then play for the Reds?
Oh,
second
Mark Lewis?
No. It was
Brandon Phillips.
Brandon Phillips.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was a miss.
Yeah.